Hello gorgeous soul, and welcome to your tarot and oracle card reading for March 2025, or whenever you happen to come across this video. So today we will be pulling an oracle and a tarot card for each of the elements. So if you're a water sign, air sign, earth sign, or fire sign, I will pull some cards for you. And you can of course use this video if you're new here, you haven't been to one of these before. You can watch your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign if you know those. Otherwise you can also just see where you're drawn. You might be a fire sign but just feel really drawn to watching the earth reading, then that's totally fine. You do you, trust your intuition above all else always. And you can of course as well watch this whole video from the beginning all the way through to the end and just listen and take the parts that feel like they resonate with you. So for those of you who are new here, I will introduce myself. I always forget to do that. I'm Victoria Maxwell. I'm an author of spiritual books and oracle decks. I'm going to use one of those oracle decks today, the Angels Among Us, which I created with Ellie and published by Rockpool. I'm also going to use the Pamela Coleman Smith Centennial Tarot. So I am actually kind of between houses right now and I don't have all of my amazing decks with me, so you'll see the next couple of months we'll be using the same decks here. So a couple of things before we pull cards. Exciting news, I have started a Substack. I know people have been asking me to do this for years and years. Probably should have gone on this boat a little bit earlier because I'm absolutely loving being on Substack. It's so fun. I'll put the link below. I've just been sharing all sorts of weird, wonderful, random spiritual stuff over there so far. And yeah, you're so welcome to follow me there if that's your jam. In Light Club this month, we are going to be working with Goddess Isis, which I'm super excited about. That's going to be our healing circle happening on the 10th, and then later in the month, towards the end of the month, we jump on a live call and we set some new moon intentions. We do like a visualization, setting of intentions, holding the intentions for each other. Very powerful manifestation to do it that well. And then I'm available to just pull cards for people. So you'll get a personal one-on-one reading like this, but just with you and me and the group. So yeah, if that sounds like something that you're looking for, if you're looking for a community, I kid you not, the people who are in that group are just like the most beautiful people that I've ever met. And it's just such a safe, supportive, beautiful space. If that's what you need, find out more in the links below. Okay, so let's take a moment just to set an intention for this video today, for our readings for today. If you're somewhere where it's safe for you to close your eyes, I invite you to do that. Otherwise, please don't. Just listen. And let's take a deep inhale together. Inhale and exhale. And then just take a moment to drop into your own heart space and set an intention for what you would like to receive in this space. If there is a question that's on your heart or your mind that you really need some guidance on, just drop that into the space and just know that you will receive the guidance that you need. If you're here, if you're watching this, there's something for you in this. I really believe that. If you got this far into the video, it's for a reason. There's a message in here for you somewhere. So take a deep inhale, exhale, and I just set the intention here that everything that comes through in this reading is in alignment with the best and highest good of all those who find it. And so it is. Amen. Sat Nam. Okay. So just a quick reminder before we begin with our water signs always take what resonates and leave the rest in these collective readings. There will be something in here for you, but that doesn't mean every single message is for you. So be discerning, trust your intuition, take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, let's begin with our water signs since we are in Pisces season. So let's pull, we're going to pull a tarot card and an angel card. And you know, we called this Angels Among Us, but there's all sorts of divine beings in here and you got one of them. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands. Let's talk about that first. Ace of Wands. This is like a really, really beautiful message of new beginnings. There's some real like starting over, fresh slate, clean slate energy for you here, water signs. And the biggest message coming through is it's time to let go of guilt, shame, mistakes, things that you're blaming yourself for, and things that you're maybe blaming other people for, that it's like you're ready to let those things go. And to remember as well that when it comes to letting go of what other people have done to you or how they've treated you or things like that, it's never about saying, oh, it's okay that that happened. It's just about you saying, you know what, I don't want to drag that around anymore. And you can just decide not to. I know that sounds really simplistic, and maybe, you know, depending on what it is, how big it is, you may need some support with that. You may need to do some talking therapy, get a reading, a personal reading. You may need more than that, but most of us actually don't need more than that. Most of us just need to make a decision to say, you know what, I'm just not going to drag that around anymore. And that's the phrase that's really coming through here is like, we're not dragging that around. And I'm seeing visions of us like just, you know, creating these massive sacks, like, you know, gray Santa sacks that we're just like dragging behind us. And it's like, we just need to let that go. There is so much that you're here to do this year. There's so much ahead of you. There's so much good things. There's so many blessings. But when we're dragging all of this junk around with us, it's really hard to like make space for the blessings. It's really hard to receive more of the good stuff when we're dragging around so much stuff that is just not helping us. It's not helping anybody to drag that around, right? And self-forgiveness is huge. Self-forgiveness is huge for you this month. It's just like, you've just got to let that shit go. It's just time to go. You know what? I've made mistakes in the past. Everyone's made mistakes in the past. We've all done things we're not proud of, but you cannot live your best and highest life where you're still blaming yourself for something that you did last week, last year, 10 years ago, whatever. It's time to let the past be in the past, and it's time for you to really focus on the future, on making your life amazing from today, starting from today. And a reminder as well that you can start again any time. You do not have to wait for a new moon or a new month or a new year or a new, like, the retrograde to end or like whatever. You don't have to wait for any perfect cosmic alignment. You just decide in the moment, I'm done with that. I'm starting over again right now, today. So you can do that with me right now, here. You can just say, this is it. This is the first day of the rest of my life, and I'm going to make it different, and I'm going to make it better. Oh, I love that message for you, water signs. That feels so, so powerful, so good. And then here you have Hathor, celebration, rejuvenation, and gratitude. So two things really jumping out from this card. For me is the rejuvenation aspect. So yes, there is all of this energy around you of like, we're letting go and we're starting again. This is the first day. Today is the first day. We're looking towards the future. We're not getting bogged down in the past. But this message around rejuvenation, it's kind of like, some of you may be able to say, cool, Vix, that was the message that I needed. It's just like, why am I carrying this shit around? I'm done. Cut clear cut, clear, heal, and release. That is done. And you can do ritual if you want to on that. Write some things down, burn them, write in your journal, just go outside, talk to the sky and just say, I'm done, take it. Whatever you want to do. But if you're struggling with that, and if it doesn't feel that easy for you, rejuvenation, and even if it does feel that easy for you, rejuvenation, it's like we need to release the old so that we can regrow ourselves. But what I'm really seeing is like, pruning of the old branches, a pruning of the old. And when we do that, right, when we prune back a plant, it takes a little time between pruning the plant and then seeing it fully bloom. So this may take some time. It may take some time for you to go from, oh my gosh, all my branches have been pruned, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable and a bit vulnerable right now. And then give it some time and you're gonna really, really bloom and things are really gonna like just be bigger and brighter for you moving forward, like absolutely. But there may be this period of like, don't feel very comfortable, feeling a little bit raw. And in that space, the best thing that you can do is just really look after yourself, really look after your energy. Put yourself first, self-care, self-love, all the cliche stuff, taking breaks from people that feel draining, you know, all of these things, really just giving yourself permission to feel what you need to feel, wrap yourself in a blanket, do your thing, but know that this is just a feeling of like, I've been pruned back and I'm gonna bloom again, but right now I just need a little bit more, love and support to give myself and to reach out and get that from others too, if that's what you need. The other message on here that's very, very loud is the gratitude keyword. Gratitude is everything, and gratitude really is everything. Like it really, really is. And I think, you know, we've heard it so many times that it's just like, yeah, whatever at this point, right? It's like, yeah, whatever, gratitude, yeah, I know. But it is such a powerful tool and it's such a powerful key to get you from where you are to where you want to go. And that's not to say that we give gratitude because we want something else. I think that we do need to be careful with gratitude because sometimes it sort of becomes like, oh, it's a tool for manifestation. And it's like, actually, we should use gratitude as just a way for us to feel joy and to feel happy and content and full in our lives with where we're at right now. And when we feel like that, we will just automatically manifest like so many good things from that place because we're in like a good vibe, you know. But we can't just do it thinking, well, you know, I want to manifest $1 million this year, I'm just going to be grateful for the money I have. Because when we do it from that, with that intention, it's like, it's not true, it's not aligned, it's not high vibe, it's just like you're just doing this because you want stuff, you know. But when we do gratitude, when we do our gratitude practices for the feeling that it gives us, for the ability to just like be present in the present moment, to be here now, to just feel that, like feel the blessings, really receive and feel the blessings that are already here, then, you know, you almost sort of start to find that you don't even, you know, you're not manifesting like crazy for this thing that you think is going to make you happy because you already are happy. And then your manifestations shift and change and you start to really be in this place of, well, I'm manifesting this thing because I know it's my life purpose and it's what I'm here to do and it's going to help people and it's going to, you know, do whatever it needs to do in the world, rather than, you know, I'm constantly focused on just getting stuff because then I'll be happy. You know, I'll be happy when I have this. I'll be happy when I have a new job. I'll be happy when I have more money. And those things may still be true. Like you might be happier when you have those things, but the more you can be happy and present here and now, the easier everything's going to be for you moving forward into that new world. Ooh, water signs. Okay, so you definitely have this sort of journey of like letting go of the past being very present with that gratitude, and then being able to change your future. That's the message that's really coming through for you really loud here, is that this is about changing your path, changing your future, changing your destiny to something that just feels so much more in alignment with who you are now and what you really want to experience and do with your life. Oh, okay, water signs. If you would like to book in with me for a personal reading, you can do that via the links below. And if you'd like to come and join us in Light Club, we do readings as well as all the other magical things that we do there. All the links are below. Sending you lots and lots of love. Fire signs. Okay, beautiful fire signs. Let's see what messages we have for you this month. I'm going to pull your oracle card first. Ooh, okay. There it is. That one flew right out. And your tarot card for the month ahead, or whenever you are watching this. Okay, fire signs, let's begin with your tarot card, and it is the 10 of Wands. You know, I actually love the 10 of Wands, even though we've got this guy who's really kind of, let me try and focus here. We've got this guy who's really, you know, struggling. He's struggling a little bit with his haul, with his load. But the exciting thing about this card is that he's on his way. The place where he's headed to is just here in the background. He doesn't have that long left to go. So a huge message here for you around not giving up at this point in your journey, right? Like, this is not the time to give up. This is not the time to put all your sticks down and go, no, screw it. I'm done. I'm not going to go the last like 10 meters and take this load to where it needs to go. You are absolutely going to see this through. This is all about seeing things through to their final destination. You're definitely in like a sort of an ending cycle here. Things that have been heavy, things that have been really hard. These are things that are coming to culmination, they're coming to completion, they're coming to finalization. Just to give you a whole bunch of words that also mean endings. It just feels like your guides really want you to understand that the difficult things that you've been experiencing, or the difficult things that you will experience in life, it's never going to be permanent. Like, these challenges, these hard things, these hard parts of life, like, it's not going to be something that you're dealing with forever. It's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. And here with the 10 of Wands, this is just the part of the cycle that's like, you're nearly there, you're nearly done. We just need like a final little push. So you're being asked to just kind of really find within yourself whatever you need to be able to complete this cycle. And so here's where I go off on my my rant about, are you doing a spiritual practice? Like, what's happening with your spiritual practice? Because these are the things that help us so much to be able to keep carrying whatever it is that we're carrying, so that we can put it down and we can lay it down and we can say, okay, I'm done with that. A spiritual practice can be whatever it needs to be for you. It can be a daily walk. It can be daily mantra. I love mantra. I love doing my daily mantras. It can be daily breath work. And actually, for you, breath work, when you're holding stuff, breath work can help you so much to just get through that final phase, that final completion. It can just help you to feel stronger within yourself. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff here too around like seeing clearly that this is not a permanent situation, that your challenges are not things that are going to be around forever, that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can't see it, visualize it and just say, you know what, I'm going to make it through this. I'm going to get out to the other side and it's all going to be fine and it's all going to be good and well. So this can pertain to like so many different things. It could be a challenging relationship that you're going through, challenges at work. There's change, you know, like the 10s are always like this moment before change. It's like you're wrapping things up, you're finalizing the paperwork, you know, it's all the annoying things of life. Like I'm going through this process at the moment where I'm having some challenges with paperwork that's just like, I can't move to the next phase of my life until the paperwork's done, you know, and it's like, you know, when you're in that place of like chasing paperwork, getting people to sign stuff, it really feels like this, you know, it's just like, oh my gosh, like when is this going to be done? And then, you know, like within a couple of weeks, it'll be done and we can move on. So, you know, whatever your final paperwork is that you need to do, whether that's literal or spiritual, metaphorical, whatever it is, it's just like wrapping up these final kind of strands, these tying off these loose ends. And one other thing that's coming through here, this is like a long ramble, but one other thing that's coming up here, what are the loose ends that you haven't yet tied up? And there's a great practice, Remington Donovan shares this practice in his prosperity book, and it's around like tying up all your loose ends, and you make a loose ends list. And you write on that list all of the things that have kind of been like, you haven't done yet. You know, like things like, oh, I needed to fix the, like, you know, that hole in the wall, or I need to sort out my closet, or I need to do my tax return, or, you know, like whatever it is, like all these little life things that, you know, oh, I've got to reply to so-and-so on WhatsApp or whatever, you know, you write this list of all the loose ends and then you start working through them and you finish them off. And that is a great way to actually propel yourself into a new cycle, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, as well as just get stuff done, right? Because sometimes we're stuck in an energetic cycle that we can't get out of. But, you know, in the material world, we have all of this stuff, this undone stuff. You know, we've got jobs half finished around the house. We've got like, you know, all sorts of things that haven't been finished. And as an author who starts a lot of projects and doesn't always finish them, what you need to do energetically is decide for yourself, am I going to see this to the end, or am I just going to let it go? And it's almost like this card too, right? It's like you have two choices when you're in the 10 of Wands energy. You can either just let them go and walk off. Like you absolutely can do that if you're like, this isn't worth it. I don't want to see this to completion. I'm just absolutely done. You can just put them down where you are and you can just go, you know? That's fine too. You can be like, actually, these aren't even my sticks. What am I doing here? And you go and find something that's better for you. Or you go, you know what, I am going to finish this and I'm going to complete this cycle. I'm going to complete this project. And so that's what, you know, that's what we do as authors, as creatives. We have to decide, am I going to keep this unfinished manuscript on the back burner? Like, how long are you going to keep things for before you say, actually, I'm not going to move forward with that. I'm going to let that go. Says me, who has like, I think I've got like 4 books that I'm working on. Which I want to finish all of them. Okay, you have an oracle card as well here. This is kind of a long message, but let's keep going. I like to just let these be as long as they need to be. Your oracle is Archangel Jeremiah, Reflections, Dreams, and Visions. So this is all about holding the vision for what you want to happen in the next cycle. So yes, you need to complete this cycle. Yes, there's things to finish. There's loose ends to tie up. There's a job to complete, you know, there's this completion energy, but actually what can really help you when you're in that part of the cycle, in like the completion part of the cycle, is to know where you're going to go next, or at least to really start thinking about where you're going to go next. Let's do water. Okay, I've been talking a lot. So making sure that you have that vision for what are you going to do once you have put your sticks down, once you've finished the project, once you've tied up your loose ends? what do you want the next cycle to look like? Sometimes we just go into a new cycle without really thinking about what we want it to be. And then all kinds of crazy stuff can happen, right? Because we're not like really intentional about, in this next phase of my life, I want X, Y, Z. I want to experience X, Y, Z. That can be really, really powerful for you. And actually having that, knowing where you're going, can help you to complete this journey, because you know on the other side of putting your sticks down, getting this job done, there's a new cycle, and you know that it's going to be better because you're creating it, you're co-creating it, you're visualizing it, you're making it happen. You are not just at the whim of the universe of like, take me wherever you want me to go. You're deciding, this is what's going to happen next. This is where I want to go. Oh, okay, fire signs. I hope that was useful for you. I hope there was something in that resonated. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, you can find out how to do that in the comment section below. And also, if you'd like to join us in Light Club, you're very, very warmly welcome to do that. The link is below. Sending you lots and lots of love. My earth signs. Let's see what is in the cards for you. Okay. Oh, yours flew out. Love when that happens. Always makes it a little bit easier. It's like, that's definitely the right card there. Okay, and then we need our tarot. This is for the earth signs. Beautiful earth signs. Okay. Ooh, okay, this is a really nice combo. I'll just show you the combo because there's so much light. There's so much light and brightness here, and I'm loving this for you. Okay, let's start with the tarot. We've got the Four of Wands. So this is like traditionally like the marriage card, celebrations, but there's also a real stability, grounding, security energy with this card. And earth signs tend to be pretty good at that stuff anyway. But this is a message for you to get some ducks in a row this month. If you've been feeling out of alignment, I feel like there's a big message for you that's around getting more into alignment. Even if you feel like, actually, I feel pretty in alignment, fantastic, but we can always be a little bit more aligned. You know, there's always somewhere else to go. There's always something else to kind of shift and something else to call in. It could be, for some of you, I feel like it's just little tiny shifts, like a little bit on each side. For others, it's like there may be like a bigger process to this of like, actually, I really need to just sort my shit out. Which is fine, because, you know, that's what we're all doing like every day. We're just trying to sort it out. So there is a lot coming up here around organization, setting your goals, sticking to things. And usually earth signs are like really good at sticking to things, but you know, life happens, and sometimes we get pulled off course, and we find ourselves somewhere. And I feel like for some of you, there may be that feeling at this time, like this month, that you're kind of feeling a little bit like you have been pulled off course. That you might be looking around and going at your life and kind of going, hang on a second, like this wasn't the plan, or this wasn't where I thought I was going, or like, how did I end up here, you know? And none of that is like a bad thing, right? None of that's a negative or a bad thing. Sometimes we end up in places that we never thought we would be in because it's exactly where we need to be, right? For our soul growth, for our, maybe it is our purpose if you didn't realize it was. I really do believe that, you know, most of the time, not going to say all the time, because there's always things that are like, why is that happening? But, you know, most of the time we do tend to end up where we need to be, where we're supposed to be. But that doesn't mean that we don't have the authority and the power to go somewhere else when we want to. And right now, if you're being called, if you're starting to go, hang on a second, this isn't where I'm supposed to be anymore. You know, maybe you got there and you were like, okay, I'm resigned to the fact that this is where the universe wants me to be. Cool. But you might be at a place now where you're like, I want to make some changes. I actually, you know, there's blessings here, there's good things here, but this isn't exactly what I wanted. What I really want is whatever it is that you want. You have the power to make that happen. You have the power to make those changes. If you're not where you want to be in life, you can change it. You can change it. And I know a lot of the time things happen in life that are totally out of our control. You know, my situation moving back to Australia and stuff, that was all totally out of my control. But that just doesn't mean that it wasn't what I was supposed to do. But at some point we can kind of go, hang on a second, like I have agency, I have the ability to make changes in my life. I don't have to just accept everything that the universe has given me. And it can be difficult to constantly kind of feel like, you know, we want to be in alignment with the universe. We don't want to be fighting against the universe. And sometimes we try to move forward in a specific way or on a certain path, and we're just constantly like one block after another, one challenge after another. Sometimes that can be because that's actually not the right path for us, but sometimes it can be because we're learning about how to release blocks and how to move through challenges. So, you know, it all really depends on like what you're feeling. Use your intuition and ask yourself, should I keep going down this path? Or are all of the no's actually, you know, actually a sign that I should be doing something else? But ultimately, what the message here is that there is a place that exists. There's an energy that we can tap into, where we are doing what we want to do. We're doing what our soul is calling us to do, and the universe is supporting us and assisting us with that. And that's the most beautiful place to be. And, you know, most of us aren't living in that space like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But, you know, that's the goal. That is the goal, to be feeling like, you know, you are in control, but the universe is helping you because you know you're on the right path. Okay, and then on that note, your angel is Archangel Jophiel, joy, radiance, and inspiration. You are here to be an inspiration to others. You are absolutely here to inspire others on their path. And you can't do that, or it's not that you can't, but it's more difficult to help people get on their best and highest path, or inspire people to get on their best and highest path. I feel like your job is more around inspiring people to take those steps, inspiring people to make a change in their life. It's hard to inspire people to do that if you're not doing it. And so as light workers, as spiritual people, whatever you want to call yourself, you know, that is like one of your purposes. If you're into all this woo-woo stuff, if you are into like higher consciousness, if you're into this idea that, you know, we're all divine beings and we're all here to support and help each other, then this is one of the things that you're here to do, is to inspire other people and help other people to wake up, you know, whether you know that you're doing that or not. Sometimes it can just be that you're in a room with somebody and they overhear your conversation with a friend about something, and it just opens up something for them, you know. But that's what you're here to do. But the message is like, it's hard for you to be an inspiration if you're not living it. Because that's all you really need to do to be an inspiration to others, is to live your life in, you know, live your best and highest life. So live your best and highest life and make the changes that you need to change to make. Have a look at your life and go, is this where I want to be? What do I want to change? And you might not be able to change everything. You might not be able to go, you know what, I'm going to like completely change my life overnight. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can do it like that. Sometimes it's just like, okay, what's the one little thing that, you know, it's one little thing I can change this week that I'm not happy about, or that doesn't work for me anymore? What can I do instead? Oh, okay, so lots of stuff there about changing your life for the better and being an inspiration to the world. I mean, pretty big stuff, but it's exactly what you're here to do. Okay, Earth signs, I'm sending you so much love. If you'd like to work together one-on-one this month, or you'd like to join us in Light Club, all of the deets are below on how you can do that. And I'm sending you so much love. And lucky last this month, we have the air signs. So let's see what is in the cards for air signs. That oracle card flew straight out. And just shuffling your tarot for my beautiful air sign friends. And of course I have, you know what, I think there's two tarots. I have got the, I've got the air. So this is for me too. Although I always find that there's stuff in all of these readings for me as well. Okay, you've got Ace of Pentacles and you've got Strength. There's definitely some stuff here around money and finances and work. And it's really interesting because none of the other signs had any of that. All the other signs were like, we're changing our lives, we're getting through stuff, we're making really positive changes in our life. Like it's all, you know, very much like take control of your destiny kind of messages. And then here, the air signs, it's like, this is about cash money. This is about work. It feels like it's a very sort of more practical level message for us air signs. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Ace of Pentacles. I love the Ace of Pentacles for air signs because it's like we need some of that. We need some of that grounded energy, and we need some of that planting intentions into the ground. And I almost feel like something that would be really good for air signs this month is to plant something in the ground, like literally planting something, putting something into the earth, your intention, your manifestation for money, for career success, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. Let's just be really honest and open about the fact that that's what air signs are going to be doing this month. We're going to be planting some seeds for material success, material abundance, and that's absolutely okay. And it's actually very, very needed. And still, after all this time in spirituality, even as I'm saying this, there's a little voice in my head that's like, don't talk about that. You know, don't talk about money, don't talk about financial abundance, just stick to the spiritual stuff, you know, like let's talk about the energies. But this is something that we need to give ourselves permission to really talk about, experience, make happen. And I think, you know, I'm feeling this as I'm talking about it. So I know there's going to be people watching this who are like, oh God, like, you know, like this is actually like harder, much harder to talk about than, you know, spirit guides or star beings or whatever. But this is our job. This is what we're here to do. We need to make sure that we are grounded and that we have the security and the prosperity that we need to be able to live our best and highest life, to be able to do all of the things that we're here to do, to create all of the things that we're here to create. It's so, so important that we have that. And so there's a lot of messages here around, you know, we just have to rip off the band-aid of the discomfort around it and just go, you know what, like, I want this and I want that and I want success and I want to be prosperous and I am going to make it happen. And it feels like that's not a spiritual thing, but it absolutely can be a spiritual thing. It absolutely can be a spiritual thing. We can make it a spiritual thing. And so, of course, the other tarot card was Strength, which is, you know, this is the ripping the band-aid off, right? Like the strength of just being able to go, you know what, like I'm just going to fully own it and be really honest and truthful about what I really want to create and what I really want to experience. There's no more pussyfooting around for the air signs. We're just like, you know what, we are just going to do this now. We're just going to do this now, okay? We're just going to do it. And it's going to be amazing. It's all going to work out and we're just going to do it. We're going to stop apologizing for wanting more. We're going to stop apologizing for wanting success. We're going to stop apologizing for wanting to be wealthy. Like all of those things, we're just going to stop it. like you're just stopping now, okay? Like that's it, we're done. But there's a little visualization that I'm seeing of us like writing something down. You write down what you want, you write down your intention, and you plant it into the ground. Air signs were really good at things like visualization. We're good at saying, talking to people, or just saying out loud to the universe, I want this. And all of that is great. All of that is very well and good. But really, like, you know, the magical practice, the witchcraft, the spell work of taking a physical object and putting it into the earth can be very, very powerful. That can be an incredibly powerful spell and ritual. And you can do it as like, you know, a beautiful big like ritual, or you can just take a rock. And I think that's what I'm going to do later, is to take a stone, a pebble, a rock, like anything, you know, something you found on the ground, whatever, sit with it, spend some time with it, put your energy into it. And you can talk to it as well. That's what I always do with my crystals. I talk to them, whisper into them what I want them to do for me. So you could even write on the rock as well. It doesn't have to be a rock. It could be a piece of paper, a leaf, you know, anything. But I feel like a rock is good for air signs because we are very, you know, floaty. So the rock feels like very grounding. Write on the rock, program the rock, sit with the rock, tell it what you want, visualize your success, your abundance, all the things that you need. Visualize it, hold the rock, put that energy into it, and then when you're ready, you put it into the earth, and you do that as a confirmation of like, this is going to grow in my life. You give it a little water, like whatever you want to do. You could put it in the bottom of a pot plant in your house. You could just put it in the garden. You could put it somewhere out in nature, and just do that as a ritual of like, this is going into the earth, this is going into material form, this is going into, you know, that's what we do in witchcraft. We take these physical tools, we take these physical objects, and we infuse them with our energy and our intentions and you know, what it is that we want, and then that puts the energy and intention into physical form. That's why I always say to people, write it down. You know, like, you can talk about what you want for as long as you know, for like all day, every day. But the power of writing it down, it's like that pen, that paper, you are putting that into the physical world. I love that. I love this for us, air signs. Okay, and what's our oracle card? Guru Ram Dass, humility, spiritual practice, and elevation. So, you know, I feel like there's always a point where we have to come back into balance, right? We can't get so caught up in riches and money and success that we lose our spirituality, that we lose our heart, that we lose our devotional practices, our, you know, love for life, like, you know, all of these other things that are wonderful about life, right? Like, we don't want to become that person. And I feel like a lot of us push away our desires for success and money and all of this stuff because we don't want to become that person, right? That we're seeing a lot of that person right now in the political climate of like all of these like billionaires and people who have so much power and so much money and so much wealth, but like, are they happy? I don't think so. Are they, you know, making a positive difference in the world? Or are they using their power to like cause harm to others? Like, we don't want to do that. That is not what we want to do. And so it's really important that while we're being honest with ourselves about the success that we want and all the, you know, the money and all of these things that we want, while we're being really honest and open about that, we're also doing it from a spiritual perspective, and we're not losing sight of what's really important. And ultimately, the success and the wealth and all of this stuff that we want to create for ourselves. And when I say success and wealth, that's whatever it means to you, right? Whether it's like an extra $20 a month or it's like 2 million, you know, whatever you need to live your purpose. And it's different for everybody. But while we're doing that, let's make sure we know why we're doing it. And I think for most people who hang out on my channel, you're doing it because you have something to gift the world, right? You want to have your own cup full so you can share something with the world. You want to do some good in the world. You want to create something that's helpful for the world. You want to, you know, have the finances so that you can give to charity, you know, like all of these things that like actually we want to use this material wealth and success to make a positive difference in the world. So we need to hold on to that, and we can do that by not letting go of our spirituality, staying connected to the heart, being humble and remembering that, you know, no matter how much we you know, how much success or abundance we manage to manifest, that it's okay. You know, we're not failures if we didn't get what we wanted or we didn't, you know, get enough. Like all of that stuff is so old paradigm, you know. No, like we're not here for that. We're here for like, yes, we're gonna have success. Yes, we're gonna be well provided for and looked after, but it all comes from love, and it all comes from love, is received with love, and it's passed on with love as well. Oh, air signs, I'm loving that. I cannot wait to get outside with my rock and plant that in the earth. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna really enjoy doing that. I'm actually feeling like there's a special place in nature where I might go and look for my rock there, and then I might plant it out there as well. People will see me like scratching around in the dirt on the on the nature track. But I do plenty of weird things out there, so it won't be news to anybody in the local community. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful air signs, I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings for the month ahead. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one or through Light Club, the links are below on how we can do that together. And I am sending you so much love.